Look, Kodak Black admits to being a meth addict. He said he's a young nigga with a meth habit. But that's him just admitting that he's actually addicted to methamphetamines, bro. Like a lot of people say, bro, if you actually looked into him, you would know he ain't really fucked up like that. He's just playing. Bro, you can't play like that. There's no way to imitate being wasted. The man went from 135 Percocets, Perc 30s, to about what he's taking like 40 of them a day just to survive. Come on, man. Open your eyes, kids. Open your eyes. The man has been fucked up for a long time, but I salute him. It's commendable that he's actually begging for help. Yeah, he's begging for help, but he's just surrounded by yes men. He need to get back over there with Jack Boy. Jack Boy gonna tell him what it is. Yeah, everybody ain't gonna just let you smoke fucking meth. Get you some better friends, bro. You get you some better friends. This just came out doing a freestyle. It's a problem. Point blank period for a lot of people going on. Why you hating on Kodak? I ain't hating on yet. Yeah, I ain't hating on him. Bruh, just need to lose that shit and shake back. Point blank period. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, man. Y'all drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Look, Kanye West says he's no longer supporting the Aryan Brotherhood. Yeah, he says he's no longer lunging head first into anti-Semitism. All because he's finally got that call from his kids and he realized what he was doing was wrong. A lot of people wonder, what am I rolling up? What you rolling up, bruh? That's the smallest piece of fucking toilet paper for Kanye West. He's saying that the music ain't shit. Leaking his own shit just to get a reaction. Nothing he can do. On top of that, sucking off his cousin. He's a cocksucker, admitted cocksucker. Nothing he can do can win them people back. Point blank, period. You're done, bro. You finished. Yeah, I don't even think you got it in you. You ain't made nothing dope in years. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They give anybody a name these days, and these niggas all let it go to their head, bro. That shit gotta stop. Drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. Scars from the playground. Look, that Mexican OT throwing shots at Sauce Wall Albert. I call him Albert. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I call him Albert. Sometimes I like to refer to him as MC Gusto. What they did a collaboration effort. I'm gonna say it's an effort. A lot of people say it's an album. It's an effort. Most people ain't even listen to it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But he said Albert overcharged him. On top of that, it was horrible working with him. It was more of a headache that had he knew what he was getting into, would have been better to avoid it. On top of that, he said Albert people was nitpicking and changing the beats up and all type of other shit. Look, Albert Gusto, know a lot of people like him, but he's not no hip hop guy. He's not really no hip hop guy. He's been paying his way like what his name? Athena Centauri. Yeah, same person he called out. He's been paying his way. Bruh, don't know shit about no music. That's why he ain't never had a hit record. Not even a hit feature. He not even nothing that even charted. Let's just be honest, bro. You been in the rap game allegedly over a decade, and this ain't the hate on you, but you should have let Mexican OT do his thing. Bro got hits, bro. Bro got real hits. And them hoes dope. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Y'all drop it in the comments, but I know a lot of people gonna come with the fuck shit. Why? Emotionally attached to the wrong shit. Point blank, period. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. Look, Meek Mill denies relationship with Diddy. He said it never happened. Yeah, he say he ain't the type of nigga to just sit back and let his manhood get questioned and just be silent. He got a 14-year-old son that had to hear that shit. Well, look here, Meek Mills. Why'd you go twinning with that nigga? Let's just be honest. Why was your ass tooted up in that water? We ain't gonna even talk about the audio. The audio could have been fake. Who knows? But the way that man was calling you daddy and you put that work in, daddy, and you was dressing, running around town, twinning with him, a nigga could never take you as gangster no more. And point blank, period, bro. You'd be better just coming out and calling yourself Meek these days. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You did what you did. At least be a man and let the world know. You know what? My name is Meek Mills. Not only was I going for the prison reform and all type of other shit, but I was a victim of the Diddler. That'll make it give you way more clap than your little street shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. A lot of people be wondering what I be talking about. Stick around long enough, you just might figure that shit out. Drop it in the comments, man. Look, Kevin Gates plans to marry Brittany Renner. Look, bro, that ain't gonna last. I'm gonna tell you like that. It ain't gonna last. She wasn't nothing more than a whore. Nevertheless, she was a whore for Charleston White. She said Kevin Gates lined up with Charleston White. Look, bro, this sound like some old Diddy shit all over again. On top of that, now she's dressing Muslim. Look, Kevin Gates, get off the gas. Drika Gates was the best woman you'll ever find, because she put up with a lot of your shit. Yeah. Zebras don't lose their stripes, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. She just the flavor for right now. But what's fucked up is you mentally sabotaging that woman with the bullshit, bro. Yeah, she ain't nothing more than one of your little fans, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Kevin Gates. I like him, but sometimes I don't. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. It go for a lot of these industry niggas, fam. If I'm just being honest, I don't really like these people like that. So, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. Drop it in the comments, man. Yeah, we don't hold no punches here. Yeah, this is not this. Look, this ain't the platform where you gonna see a nigga just hold them punches. Now we throwing them all. I'm point blank period. Yeah, drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the. Look, Kid Cudi testified against Diddy. Look, bro, he say Diddy blew the top of his Porsche off with a Mazel Tov cocktail. Happened. Snuck in his house, blew his car up, left, even the dogs was scared. Drop it in the comments, man. He laughed about it on the stage, on the stand. Why? Because it's like from 14 years ago, and it was like kind of a weird situation. On top of that, Diddy requested a meeting just to speak on what was going on with him and Cassie. He said Cassie played both of them. He thought they were broke up. Point blank period. He said he didn't know nothing about Diddy, but he did know it was a lot of physical abuse over there. But he thought she was done with him. But Diddy requested a meeting. He went in. Diddy was standing like the supervillain, staring out the window with his hands in his pockets, probably touching his pecker. Nigga get hard to anything. You know what I mean? Allegedly, bro. Diddy's a weirdo. Diddy's a fucking creep. I shout out Kid Cudi. Shout out Miss Cudi. Why? He went up there and just told his story, bro. What was he supposed to do? Lie? He said what happened. But unfortunately, this might be another nail in the coffin for old Sean Combs. And allegedly, Sean Carter's next. They want him. You know, man, drop it in the comments, man. That ain't me making that shit up. I wish I could make that shit up. Carter was one of my favorite rappers, man. Jay-Z, yeah, one of my favorite rappers. Everybody already know how I feel about that old imaginary player Jay-Z, that 7-minute freestyle Jay-Z. That's what I'm talking about. When I talk about hip-hop, bro, I'm going to be dropping gems all the time. Y'all go check out my music. It's Cuz from the Playground. Y'all drop it in the comments. NBA YoungBoy updates fans about his master tour, Make America Slime Again tour. He said, if you don't come to my tour to see me in concert, despite me not even performing for the last 5 years, it's gonna be dope. But look, he said, if you don't come to my concert, don't even jam me no more. But he did that with his little Mario smile. Look, this is a different YB. YB feet don't even turn in. They not even hooking in. You know what I mean? I don't be with the conspiracy theories of this is a clone and shit, but they got this man on that medication. And you don't know who this man is at this point, bro. Feet don't even hook in the middle. Yeah, feet don't even hook in the middle. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? He's just fucking around. He still wants you to jam him. But he's just showing you he's turned into a nice guy. And he's spreading that money on. Even Gave Lil Dump $1 million. Look, you drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe, man. Look, Baby Joe denies stealing $70,000 from NBA YoungBoy. He say YB was just high. You gave it to me. Now you saying I stole it because you woke up and you didn't remember what happened to that 70K. Your bag was 70K light. You gave me that. You was high. He say sometimes people be so medicated they forget what they do. Look, shout out Baby Joe. He say this is ruining his life right now. I don't think he went quite that far, but he said something along those lines. He said he would never steal from YB. YB too thorough and done too much to change his life for him to just take 70 bands from him. He got to talk about it now because he had already recently interviewed about it. So YB out now. YB hear about what Scars from the Playground be talking about. So he want to see, you know, what did happen with that 70 bands. Now is the time to speak about it. You know what I mean? Speak now or forever hold your peace, nigga. And that's what Baby Joe doing. He just speaking. He didn't still say he did gain 70 bands, but one would argue, why would you take it from him if you know he's high? You know what I mean? He's always high. And this is YB, just the YB I know. He don't know himself when he wake up because he's not on the dog food anymore. That's why I stopped taking all. I ain't never took no dog food. That's why I stopped taking any type of pharmaceuticals. Yeah, any type of pills. They make you friendly. You know what I mean? Yeah, you'll give all your shit up and be mad, but you can't be mad at it because you did that. You wasn't that fucked up, nigga. You gave them 70 bands away. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Look, Tory Lanez transferred to a different correctional institution, California Correctional Institution. He was transferred for 3 hours away to California Men's Colony, CMC, citing safety concerns. You know what happened, bro. Everybody know what happened. They hit that man 14 times. Why? He went in there with the wrong jacket. He went in there with a jacket that says he was violent to a woman, shooting a woman in the feet. Look, what a lot of people don't understand is they gonna get you. Yeah, they gonna get you. They got wives they trying to get back home to and some old shit. So to hear about that you just victimized a woman, nigga, you should have testified and told them people you didn't do that. Point blank period. A lot of people say he would have been a snitch. No, he wouldn't, though. No, he wouldn't. We don't condone nobody agreeing to shooting a woman. If that were women business, say that was between the women. Point blank period. You don't take from yourself and your family to help somebody out. They made a choice that night. Why would you make the wrong one? That's what it boils down to, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. Scars from the Playground. Look, Big U will represent himself in this RICO trial. Look, his attorney, Arturo Hernandez, withdrew, citing they wasn't communicating, and it was like a lack of trust there. Look, bro, so Big U made the announcement that he's gonna represent himself. Look, originally I said he might have a chance. They're gonna hang him. Yeah, bro. They gonna hang him. When he get up there and try to talk like he a boss of this, a boss of that, they gonna remind him he's just a nigga. Yeah, point blank period. That terrorize the streets. Let them say it. He ain't got no chance, fam. Yeah, he ain't got no chance. Point blank period. Shout out Big U. It was nice knowing him. It was nice knowing him. And he's gonna throw some people under the bus. Brick, loose. You might never see them people again, fam. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm equipped. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.